No.
Was it anything significant about it or just
It's a training camp injury. He'll be fine. He'll get back when he gets back.
Same thing with Brian Winters, or why was he out? He missed the last segment or two of practice.
I didn't see him miss the last. I wasn't looking for him to miss, but I'll find out when I go inside.
Buster Screen looks like he has a cast on his hand too.
He's got a splint. Hurt his finger.
what's up with Ligon?
Training camp injury again. We got guys that'll be in and out for the next couple weeks, so when he gets back, he'll be ready.
Is this anything that you think will linger into the regular season though with these guys?
I won't speculate on injuries at this time, but we'll see.
What did you think of May and Pryor getting back out there? How did they look?
Limited action, but they're healthy enough to go out there. It's a matter of how they feel tomorrow is what I'm more concerned about today. But they moved around some and they got in some action, so mentally, from their standpoint, it feels good.
How did Sam look today?
Second day for him, learning, progressing, watch the film, learn, and get better.
Does he look like the situation so far is not too big for him?
Well, it's not too big for him, but you still got to learn. I don't think it's too big for him at all, but he got a lot of learning and work to do, so he's just putting his head down and work, and we're going from there.
How do you think he responds to instances when he makes a mistake, when he blitz, and maybe he hadn't seen it? How do you think he typically immediately responds to the next several plays?
He learns from his mistakes. He's a good study, and he's a hard worker, and he's mentally tough, so he grasps the situation, and he moves on to the next play pretty good.
How critical is that when you're trying to evaluate this one?
That's critical for any one of our guys at the position, whether a corner gets beat, whether a lineman gets beat for a sack, or whether a running back fumbles to get back and run the next play and forget about it, as well as the quarterback. So that's critical for everybody on our team.
What have you thought of Nathan Shepard, what he's got with your starters so far?
Again, he's tough. We understand he's tough and he's athletic and he can play, but he's got to learn the scheme as well. So he's going through a learning process just like all the rookies, to be expected. You give them about a week and a half, almost 2-week grace period to get everything down so they're not swimming. When the installation slows down, these guys get the focus in, and you can really take a look at them and see what they learned.
Besides learning the scheme, what's the next step?
Obviously, it's going to be all year learning blocking schemes, understanding what people are trying to do to him, and then understanding where his help is coming from, and then continue to use his hands.
It's obviously only a week into camp, but what kind of changes have you seen from the Darren Lee that played for you guys last year and the Darren Lee who's now on the field this year?
Just more vocal. Like I said, the game slowed down for him because he's in his third year, so it slowed down for him and he's more vocal, but he's just as athletic as he was when he came in.
Are you guys expecting a big season?
Like I said, we're expecting a big season from everybody. It's not just him. He just has to do his job just like everybody else has to do their job.
Who has impressed you the most so far in camp? We're only 3 days in, but
Coach Jimmy Johnson, our tight end coach, because he wears a sweatshirt that weighs about 40 pounds in this heat every day, so that's impressed me the most about what's been going on.
What about player-wise?
I don't think nobody had the sweatshirt on, so right now, no. It's early. It's early. I can't get into detail because there's a lot of teaching going on, and I can't say.
You had said the other day you expected the penalties to go down. They were down a little bit today at 4. Is that pleasing? What you figured what you expected?
That's you can win with 4 during the season. We got to keep it 5 or below. You don't want to be up in the 9-10 area, and it's work in progress every day with a lot of guys and a lot of new guys going in. We understand where they're coming from and who they're coming from, so it's going to be a constant progression throughout camp.
Leonard looks like he's really jumped out in camp. Can you tell if he's moving better? I know he wanted to work on his conditioning in the offseason. Can you see that?
He was moving better in the spring, and he's moving better now. And I think he knows where to go now without thinking. So playing fast without thinking kind of helps a lot too.
Did he come in lighter in this game?
No, he came in the same. He just looks quicker, but he's put a lot of work in this year, so it's just a credit to him.
Todd, how has Ardarius progressed since the end of last year to now? What you've seen out there?
Same thing. His mental approach is different. Last year he was swimming a little bit coming into the offense, so he has a better grasp this year, and he's always been a hard worker, so it'll be interesting to see as the weeks go on.
Has there any thought for the first preseason game yet as far as rotation or anything like that, or nothing?
No thought yet, no.
Everybody good?
Thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Thanks, Todd.
performing well. They come out the way they prepare, the way they approach the game. They do a tremendous job.
Well, what do you make of what you've seen in the spring and a couple practices with Sam? What do you like about Donald?
Just his decision making with the football. Just taking what the defense gives him and not just trying to force it in there. He's a smart guy, and I think he's going to do well in this league.
How about for yourself, just personally? This year you have some new running backs next to you. So are you taking on like a leadership role now, or?
I don't say too much, man. I just come to work. Whenever my number's called, man, I just go out and just take full advantage of my opportunities. It's always a good group of guys that come in. Crowell is a guy that, has been consistent over his years over in Cleveland and coming over and, adding to the running back core. He's doing a good job.
Small fighters fight first.
The undercard?
For the
undercard.
Yeah, for the main
Man.
event. But no, it's a great, great chemistry out here today. Talking about being in pass and you're getting into the grind of camp, and the guys are locked in. We're doing a good job of just executing in situation football, understanding different situations that we were faced with last year, and coming out and just making sure that we capitalize when those situations present themselves. It's good to just be out here and continue to get better.
Teddy, how do you and Josh and Sam help each other? I mean, I know you guys are in the meeting rooms and kind of all day together, but just specifically, what are some of the things you do to help each other?
It's a ton of football that's been played between the three of us, whether it's college or in the NFL. So, especially having Josh. Josh is a guy who's been in this league, who's, seen many quarterbacks play, and he understands his offense in and out. So having a guy like him, it just helps you understand it more. Because, sometimes when the coach tells it to you, you don't get it as well. But then when the player tells it to you, it's like, man, it clicks for some reason. But, having Sam, having myself in there also, it's just, it's a room where we bring the best out of each other. We congratulate each other and we hold each other accountable. We want what's best for each other. We want what's best for the New York Jets. So we have three guys who have the same common goal, which is just to do whatever they can to help the New York Jets win football games. It makes the room special.
Same common goal, but only one guy can get the ball. So does it make it awkward at all?
No, not at all. We know that competition makes the team better. It makes you better as an individual. So, we look forward to it each day. We come in and we continue to help each other, because at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's not about Sam, it's not about Josh, it's about the New York Jets. And we understand that, and we take forward, we move forward with that mindset.
How do you feel with this offense? Is it to your liking, just the way technically it is?
I'm enjoying it right now. We're doing some good things right now, getting the ball in our playmakers' hands, and that's what you want as a quarterback. The offensive line is doing an awesome job, whether it's protecting or even just opening holes for the running backs. You put the tape on, and it's like, man, the guys are just moving well, communicating well, and that's what you want as a team. It starts up front, and those guys don't get enough credit. So those guys have been doing a great job all of camp, and they've been making it fun to play quarterback.
How far have you come personally from your rookie year, the time that you first started this thing, to now, comfort-wise?
You get more comfortable as you gain that experience over the years, but at the same time, you remain a student of the game. And as long as you remain a student of the game, you continue to get better. When you think you know it all, I think that's when guys tend to struggle. So for me, I just have to remain comfortable, continue to trust the great coaching that we have here, and just continue to get better as I take reps each and every day.
Teddy, as someone who came in as a first-round pick also, have you talked to Sam at all just about what maybe for him to expect, or what it's like coming in with some level of expectation?
Yeah, we talked a little, and he'll ask questions here and there, and I was telling him the little things about creating routines, because it's a different ball game. You have more time. You don't have class to go to or anything. So I just told him, find a routine, create that routine, and make sure it's something you're comfortable with, to make your life easier and make playing quarterback in the NFL easier.
What has impressed you about him early in camp here?
Just the way he's able to handle everything that's thrown at him. I don't know what system he ran in college, but I know that he's been, taking it from the classroom and applying it to the field, and that's the first step, because being able to comprehend it and transfer it to the field, that's those huge signs of understanding that you're aware of what's going on. So I've been, amazed by that. It's great to be in the room with him, a guy who's never too high, never too low, and that's what you need at the quarterback position. So, I'm glad to be in the room with him. Every throw he makes, I'm on my feet watching, because you can always take something away from whether it's Sam, Josh, or whoever's throwing the ball. So I'm a huge fan of Sam. Like I said, I'm glad to be in the room with him, and I just look forward to continue to push him, and look forward to him continue to push me.
Teddy, from your understanding, how much has I know you weren't here last year, but you watched the film. How much did the offense change systematically from last year to this year with the Jets?
Like you said, I wasn't here last year to really.
What are you hearing, though?
Yeah, I just noticed that we're doing a good job, good things up front with the offensive line. Whether it's communicating, maybe it was some things that we may have struggled with last year. We're doing a good job of just executing those things, communicating, passing down the calls up front, and just playing fast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And now.
The headliner's coming on, so I only got 3 songs, and one of them's a cover, so make it good.
How'd it go out there today?
Good. It was a good day. I thought from just from our standpoint, it can always be cleaner. We just got to continue to become a smarter football team, and just with some of the penalties and stuff like that, we got to tighten that up, and that's on us, coaches. Talking about it, and the players got to take ownership in it. We got to get that done. And then from an offensive standpoint, I thought we had a pretty solid day. We had some good execution and some give and take, but a good day for us.
You joked about just being the warm-up act just now. Teddy did that before when he walked in here. So what's going on?
Well, we spent a lot of time together the last 5 days. So yeah, I guess that's part of it. It's good that we're all talking on the same day, and we'll get Sam in here in a minute and let y'all fire away, but we'll get you warmed up.
What are your first impressions of Sam in the first 2 days you've seen him?
You know, for kind of the circumstances being, you know, what they were, I think he's acclimated quickly as far as just physically getting in and throwing and handling himself in the huddle. So, you know, speaks to him, you know, keeping his mind in it and keeping his head around football and getting throws in while he was away and stuff like that. It's always a hard time. We talked about it, you know, last week. This business part of football. But, you know, it wasn't like he was, you know, kicking back and just, you know, hanging. He was going out getting throws, getting work in, you know, talking football, and you know, it shows, you know, as he came out here. He looks like he's, you know, had his head in it, and you know, never perfect, but a good start.
Have you seen marked improvements since the spring, since the last time you saw him?
I think so. You know, anytime you can take some time, you know, you learn something, you take some time away, and you can, you know, digest it on your own. I think it's helpful, and that's obviously what the summer was for him. And you know, we talked about how to address the summer and what's the balance between getting away but not getting so away that you come back and everything's a surprise to you. And so, you know, I feel like, you know, that's kind of the first thing as a rookie that you're trying to figure out is what's going to be my year-round process in the NFL, you know, life as a quarterback, so to speak. And so it seems like for the most part he's handled that well and you know, come back in good shape and ready to go.
Are there things that you can take away from your experiences in a very similar situation with a young guy coming in, both for the guy and for you?
Meaning?
Well, you've been in this situation before where a high-round pick comes in,
yeah.
You're there. What do you, I mean, do you have a recall of that, and does it help you deal with it? And can you help the young guy deal with it better than anything you've learned over the years?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. Just learning from different situations that I've been in, absolutely. And more than anything, just, you know, a lot is I think what you don't understand is how much a top pick gets pulled in so many different directions. And so for the coaches and the people inside the building and you know, even the teammates, you know, it's to have a high awareness of just understanding that he's getting pulled and to just do your best to help him stay focused. Now, obviously, you know, you don't pick a guy that high that you don't feel like can do that, but still, there's tons of distractions, and it's easy to want to try to, you know, say yes to everything, and so understanding that, you know, you got to be able to divide your time, you know, wisely, and that when Sam does that, you know, for us to be the best resource we can to maximize that time. So I think that's the main thing that I've learned over the years and seeing with top picks is to when they're here, when they're focused on football, maximizing that time and making it good work.
Josh, what do you like about Sam's ability to overcome, you know, mistakes in practice? You know, he threw a pick and then a couple plays later he made a nice pass. So what do you like about his resilience?
Oh man, I think that's life in the National Football League. You got to be able to overcome adversity and you know, bad things are going to happen. You got to, you know, put that play away and move on. And quite frankly, that's the biggest difference in most guys is their ability to process a negative play and get back out there and go. And since he's been here really the first day, he's shown an ability to do that. And so I think that's going to serve him well throughout his career. And you know, obviously, you want to get to a point where you eliminate the negative plays. But like I said, they're going to happen. That's part of football, part of life, and it's how you process that and move on, and how quickly you begin to stack the next win and go get that next good play and gain some momentum again, that you get back on track. And Sam's doing a good job with that. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
All right.
The young kid with the reddish hair, is that Sam's son?
No, it's his little brother.
As much as I possibly can. Tighten it up as much as you can, and then you have like your hands.
Dan, could you describe what it was like being away for a few days while the rest of them were practicing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was able to watch it on the iPad. So just watching them at practice, you know, it sucked watching them, but at the same time, you know, I knew what needed to be done. So, you know, but it was, you know, it was tough watching them, but at the same time, I knew that it was necessary.
Sam, could you walk us through what you were doing workout-wise? You were around here, right?
Yeah.
Were you at a high school field working out or something like that?
Yeah, so I was over at the Archery Hotel. They have a nice little fitness complex over there, so I was able to work out a little bit and stay in shape. And then I was able to throw a couple times at a local high school. Yep.
Who did you throw to?
Actually, some of the CAA, because I'm a CAA, and so some of those guys came and caught for me, which was pretty cool of them.
And what'd you watch on the iPad, you said?
Practice.
Just
Yeah, I still had access to everything, so
Okay.
it was pretty cool to just be able to watch film. All
How
that.
did you like your greeting when you came out on the field?
Yeah, that was awesome to be able to just be a part of that and not really expecting anything, and then them doing that. It kind of pushed everything. Me not showing up to camp on time and being late. It kind of pushed all that to the side, and it just made me feel comfortable. It made me feel part of the team.
Now that it's over, do you have any regrets about how things played out? Are you okay with how it played out? Do you feel like you got what you needed out of the situation?
Yeah, I thought it played out great. But honestly, I think with the way that everything worked out, that's why I have great agents. Because they're able to figure that stuff out. And then whenever I get back on the field, that's my job, and my job is to play football to the best of my ability.
Did you give Jimmy some kind of deadline and say we need to get it done by this time because I need to get out here and do this?
No, not necessarily. I knew what was best for me, and but at the same time, I wanted to get out and play football.
How quickly do you think you're going to be able to catch up, or do you feel like you already have?
Yeah, we installed mostly everything during OTAs and mini camps. So, but at the same time, there was a few practices before I got out there, so I have some catching up to do. I feel like I still got some catching up to do, but I feel really comfortable, and I'm able to call the plays in the huddle and run them.
Did you feel rusty on Monday at all? Your start was kind of slow, but it's
Yeah.
hard to tell whether you're amped up or whether that was rust.
Honestly, I felt really good on Monday, so I felt good. I didn't. It was nice to just be able to get back out here, honestly, and just practice. I think no matter if I had rust or not, I feel like all that kind of went away once I got out here and started playing ball again.
Sam, how important is it to bounce back from mistakes? You had to pick when they blitzed earlier in practice today, and then just a couple moments later you hit Chad.
Yeah.
How critical is that for you over not just this month, but as you develop?
Right. I think we always talk about it in the quarterback room, but we also talk about it as a team. It's important. You want to limit your mistakes, but at the same time, if you do make a mistake, you don't want to keep your head down. You want to hold your head up high and just go after the next play with all you got. So that's kind of our mentality here, but that's also been my mentality throughout playing football, and that's kind of how I was taught at a young age to play football. If I make a mistake early on, to just bounce right back and get after it the next play.
Did you get hit on that pick?
Yeah, it was a really good play. I'm not sure who actually. I gotta watch the tape, but I know they came heavy off the edge. It was a run play, but we had a smoke on the backside and tried to throw the smoke, and they came in hot, and we were able to kind of hit my arm, and the ball went up. Obviously, in a game, that would have been a great play. It was a great play, but in practice, you don't necessarily want to hit the quarterback. but it was a really great play on the defense's part. They were able to get that pick and make a play.
So much has been said about what you could mean to this franchise. How do you respond to that pressure, to that attention, especially so early in your career?
Right. I think it's important for me to just continue to play football, do what I know how to do, but also spend extra time in the meeting room, whether it's with Josh and Teddy or with with JB, Jeremy Bates, and with Mick. Mick's been helping me a ton, Mick Lombardi. So it's been awesome to be able to spend time with those guys and really just understand NFL football, because it's a little bit different, and it's fun to be able to come out here every single day and compete at a super high level, then go in there and watch the film with a few really smart dudes.
Do you feel comfortable, Sam? It's
Yeah.
a different level, different scheme, but you look comfortable. Do you feel it?
Yeah, no, I feel it for sure. I feel really comfortable. At the same time, I feel like because I have really high expectations for myself, I got a ways to go in terms of growth, but I feel comfortable with the offense at a rudimentary level.
Your high expectations for yourself, does that include
Yeah.
opening day starter?
With that being said, I think that's a coach's decision. The competitor in me, I want to start, but at the same time, it's about the team and whatever's best for the team. If Coach Bowles and Coach Bates feel like Josh or Teddy or myself, are best fit for the starting job, then that's what it is, and the team can respect it. So that's just how we roll. But at the same time, and I think that's also part of the reason why it's never really awkward at all in the quarterback room. Me, Teddy, and Josh, we push each other every single day. But at the same time, we love each other, and we get after each other, and we're able to have some fun in the meeting room and in practice.
You got a little bit of a late start. You're the third guy on the depth chart. You're a new guy coming in as a rookie. I mean, how big of a challenge would it be for you to become the weekend starter?
Yeah, I mean, with Josh and Teddy, it's a huge challenge. But at the end of the day, they know it's a coach's decision. So I'm just going to come out here every day and practice and control what I can control. Do what I can to earn my, to possibly earn that start, but at the same time, just continue to get better every single day. I think that's what it's about.
Just from a technical standpoint, when the draft process was going on, you talked about your turnovers and had you cut down on them. I noticed that you, on your rollouts or when you were scrambling, you had two hands on the ball at all times. Was that something that was reinforced by the Jets during the offseason, or is that's the way you try to do it?
Yeah, well, I think, it's a credit to the Jets coaching staff for sure. JB and Mick have been doing a really good job of continuing to coach me up on keeping two hands on the ball, but at the same time, I think it's how much I've prepped that and how much I've practiced that this offseason during the draft process, honestly. Just continuing to keep two hands on the ball and really making that and, really putting emphasis on that part of my game.
How much faster and quicker are NFL defensive backs breaking on the ball from your experience in practice so far?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder out here. They're a little bit faster for sure, but at the same time, the receivers are faster. Our O linemen are better. D linemen are better. So it's just everyone's a little bit better, but I feel like everyone kind of evens each other out. The receivers are running great routes, they're getting open, but at the same time, DBs are closing faster. It's just about anticipating those windows and throwing guys open sometimes. On a fade, whether you throw back shoulder or throw it a little bit deeper. So it's about making good reads and anticipating your throws.
Sam, on one play, I guess it was in the red zone or close to it, when you threw to the left side to Hanson. Was that supposed to be back shoulder, the completion? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, down there. So I signaled a fade because I saw a man, and I thought they were bringing pressure. This is a part of the growth that I'm talking about. I thought they were bringing pressure. Turns out we were protected, so I could have gone through my read, but just gave Chad a nice little fade and was trying to throw back shoulder last second, right as I was throwing it. I saw the DB's eyes look at me, so I knew if I threw back shoulder, it would have been a pick. So I tried to last second, literally like last millisecond, just try to throw it out in front of him, and came out weird, threw it at his feet, but it's better than a pick, throwing in completion. What'd you do during the break in terms of study time?
That's all I did. Are you talking about the break or the week that I had off?
No, I meant the 5 weeks.
Yeah, the 5 weeks. Yeah, I was watching film, but at the same time, I was taking a break. Taking a break mentally. Every couple days, I would go back and watch some film, look at my plays and all that. But at the same time, Josh and Teddy talked about it a lot. Taking a break mentally because it's a long season. So just really understanding what I got to do mentally to stay sharp during those 5 weeks. But also understanding that, that I just got to give myself a break mentally, but also physically, and just to allow my body to kind of catch up in terms of sleep and all that.
So you didn't throw with anybody?
During the break?
Yeah.
No, I did throw. I threw, yeah. No, I took a couple weeks off, more like a week and a half, a week. But yeah, I did throw for a few weeks after that.
How exciting is it for you knowing you at least have a chance to win the starting job?
Yeah, it's competition's awesome. When I went through it at SC, it was really cool to come out here and compete every single day, because that's what the sport's about. I think it also pushes guys on the team when they're seeing a vet like Josh, a vet like Teddy, and me coming in and competing really hard. I think it pushes everyone. So there's guys at other positions that are competing for jobs as well. So it's just it's really awesome to be able to come out here and in this competitive environment and just compete. I think that's the name of the game out here, especially in camp. Once guys' legs start to get a little bit tired, competition, I think pushes all of us to be better.
Sam, is yoga something you ever practiced in college or something you do now to stay loose?
Yoga? Yeah, so I've been doing yoga off and on kind of the past 2 years. But, it's tough with some of, all the stuff that we've been doing during the draft and, getting here as a rookie. So I haven't had a ton of time to do it, but whenever I get the chance, I try to. Whether it's yoga or some light form of meditation, just trying to get my mind right.
Thank you, everyone.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sam.